quick blip that I have to do and zoom, fly.
As soon as.
Hi guys. We're back.
Good evening.
Spring. It's Friday. Spring is in the air. Spring cleaning, all that fun stuff. So look forward to the new thumbnail. And also, since spring and whatever something spring cleaning something, we brought TheOdicy back from episode 1 to season 4, so we can show them all the big changes that we've been doing. And now we're here.
Yo, started from the bottom, now we're here. These three have been giving me the runaround of this studio that they set up, they got going on here. They're on episode 30. If y'all been following me for a hot minute, you know I've been looking for some people running some podcasts for a long time, and I gotta say, I'm very impressed by this crew. Very impressed by what I see.
Yo,
we appreciate the fuck out of that, bro.
A lot of this inspo from the podcast does stem from Theo, so...
Yeah.
If it wasn't for his energy and the shit that he does, I don't think we'd be here today.
Yeah, it's nice to have him back on here.
That is freaking awesome to hear. I am super stoked and super excited to run this one back with y'all. What do we have on the docket today?
Oh
boy.
So
you know, one thing I just realized, right? Going off of one that y'all were talking about earlier, right? See, was first episode with you two.
Mm-hmm.
My first time on the podcast, and now first episode to season 4.
It all comes full circle.
Also, someone in my TikTok chat, Theo, said Father Theo.
Yo, we got a Father Theo. Who was it? I got
Banana Bread 2.
Banana Bread was good, homie. Was good. I hope you're having a good time, man. Oh my gosh, we gotta run it back. He is one of my long-time followers. One of my favorite people.
Oh, I love that.
We're not bringing Mother Squish into this. That is not gonna be a thing that's gonna happen today.
But listen, I think in terms of
too late.
I keep saying spring cleaning, but I'm really dabbling with new things or bringing back old things. So I actually found we have three new subreddits today. One is actually our own subreddit. So I'm going to start us off with a little something light. It was short, but it was funny, and I got a kick out of it. So the first one actually comes from r/malicious compliance. And it is simply titled, "You want me to track every task? Okay. Boss wanted us to track our tasks. Write down everything you do so we know how long things take. All right. Sure thing, boss. 8:01. Turned on computer. 8:03. Opened email. 8:05. Replied to first email. 8:07. Replied to second email. 8:08. Took a sip of coffee. 8:09. Adjusted chair. By day 3, this document was over 50 pages long. Boss sat there, flipping through the endless log, his face just kind of dropping with every page. At one point, he leaned back, rubbed his eyes, and sighed like his soul was leaving his body. Finally, he goes, "Okay, just track important things." We all nodded. "Yeah, of course. Mission accomplished." I love that.
He got what he asked for.
I've worked so many jobs. I love the idea of malicious compliance when things like that happen, when it's always over something, in my opinion, small, and it's just tedious, that it's, if you want me to be tedious, that's gonna come back on you. So yeah, we'll do that. I have actually done that before, where a job wanted me to document. They told me to stop doing that when they received a message saying the time, and that went to bathroom. Reason, had to poop. They never asked me to do it again.
That's beautiful.
Oh my gosh, that's hilarious.
That's absolutely beautiful.
So I thought I'd start us off with a little funny.
Yeah, that guy is doing it absolutely right. Too many times, supervisors, bosses are trying to be like far too bureaucratic than what's necessary. Yo, if you could do something like that to get out of it, by all means, more power to you, man. I'm giving you a golf clap on that one. 10 out of 10.
Honestly, like, malicious compliance ain't malicious if the intent was malicious from your boss in the first place.
So I just remembered what it was as to why we had to document things. It was when I was a labor worker, and that's as far as into depth I can get with that for legality reasons. And we had to fill out, they would give us pages of paper, and they wanted us to write down every task that was done, what time, and from when to when task was done, so they knew exactly how long things were taking us. Everybody hated it. Everybody didn't like it. We already worked 10-hour shifts out in direct heat. We were miserable. So we all decided, okay, we're going to do that. So it was, 6 a.m., start the day. 6:02, morning meeting. 6:05, opened water bottle. And I was the only one who has no filter and would go as far as, restroom, pooped from, 10 to 10:15. Like, I made sure it was written. And there was one incident where I actually got a little, I had a talking to after this, before the pages finally went away. For the girly pops in my chat, it was that time of the month. I made sure to state so, and when I had to go and do girly pop things in the restroom, and I had a meeting of, you can't put that there. And I said, why? Because you asked for it to be put there. They did not last over a month.
Wow.
8:43. Shove the tampon up.
Oh god, no.
No one knew. That's probably exactly how you fucking put something down.
If I remember my phrasing for it, it would typically be bathroom break, on period, or took break, taking medication for cramps, or run to car, had to grab tampon. And so I went in depth with everybody else. Like, don't get me wrong, the men had no problem documenting, like, took a fat dump. I was going an extra mile of, no, you want to know? We're getting personal. We're getting real personal.
You see, I would be like 8:11 logging what I did, 8:12 logging what I did, 8:13 logging what I did. I'd just do that until they would have me actually not working.
We did that for the end of the day.
Seconds.
So our shift was 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. So the 6 p.m. was submitted dumb sheet. Everybody wrote the same thing.
Jesus.
Nice. That's awesome.
Awesome.
8:12:43. Took breath in. 8:12:45. Put breath out. just you're breathing the entire time.
I now cast manual breathing.
Yeah.
But with that nice starter, Squish, you want to hit us with something?
Give me 2 seconds.
2.
Dude, I just realized we're running like blue purple squad over here.
Arthur, purple's always like the best color, man.
Dude, yeah,
I know that's subjective, but like, listen, I grew up with it. Ironically enough, it was half of my high school's, or just my town's like school colors and everything. It was half the people in my family's favorite color, half of my friends' favorite color. I'm just like, bro, I've been surrounded by purple my whole life. Like, shit, this must mean something.
Chaos came into my chat to tell me, do me a favor, remind Squish with her new name, Mother Squish. Chaos said so. You're now Mother Squish.
God damn it, that's the whole fucking cult thing. I don't want to talk about it.
Wait, you got a cult?
Yeah, I'm Mother Squish now.
You're beginning to create a cult.
You see, I got a bread gang, and they are flirting the line with cult. They get really culty, they get really close to that line,
your
but they
bread
never
gang
quite
is
cross
in
it.
my TikTok chat.
Are they?
Sounds like a cult.
Are they blowing you up right now? Yo, bread gang, hit her with the bread. Hit her with the bread, bread gang. Hit her with the bread.
I don't want to get hit with the bread.
By the way, Bread Gang, the Church of Squish is currently open and taking any and all
we're
new
not
applicants,
doing this today.
To help cultivate and spread the gospel of Squish.
So my new name is now Mother Squish. I have the Church of Squish. I am also Empress Squish, and I have an army that wants to go to war and conquer countries such as Germany and Denmark. And I said, no, we're not doing that. This is not.
Is right here. He is not here.
Hey, you're not doing that yet. You're not doing that yet. You know, set your goals high. You really want to aim for the stars, all right? Maybe.
You know,
I don't want a cult.
I was watching a YouTube video today on cult leaders getting interviewed. This is all, we've all come full circle to cults.
Pretty quick, too. I'm actually surprised by that. It was like, what, 12, 15 minutes in? We're speed running that one.
Don't forget Canada.
Interview with a cult member.
Don't forget Canada. Sorry, my bad, Chaos.
The word of Mother Squish must spread. From Nibs.
No.
Yo, if you're still pulling that up, I was actually looking into, I heard a podcast about a guy who interviewed like cult recruiters and like figured out what they do to like bring people in. Y'all want to hear about that?
Oh my god, I was watching Bows versus the World today, where an interviewer was like leading heavy into the two cult leaders for the Twin Flames cult, and they're sitting there going, we're not a cult, and she's like, but you forced people to do things or they were going to be excommunicated. Well, yeah, but, and she's like, no, that's not a but, you're a cult.
That's a fucking cult.
Yep, that's cult.
Squishy's calling this a cult around her. She calls this a cult. I like to call it a community.
Eliminate the non-believers. Shun the non-believers, Charlie.
Oh my god.
Okay, I got the story. Are you ready?
I am ready.
I don't know.
You guys ready?
So... So, my first story is a Best of Redditor updates. This was posted originally the 13th of February of this year, so this is still kind of
fresh.
This is still fresh.
I don't know if this matters, but that's the day before Valentine's Day. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Ooh.
This was originally on True Off My Chest. And this is my 14-year-old son got arrested yesterday, and I'm happy.
I saw that on my feed, and I didn't click on it. Oh my god, I'm excited.
There's trigger warnings. There are trigger warnings. It is death threats, domestic violence, emotional abuse, manipulation, victim blaming, and mentions of the R word.
Okay. That was a lot.
So,
Nickname that essay.
That is a lot. And you're happy about
just
that?
preparing.
Okay. All right. Go on.
Just being prepared. So, yesterday,
Like,
my son was...
Satan spot. I don't have to
Yeah.
deal with it.
Gifting things.
I'm pretty sure I saw a scary movie about that guy.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
So, yesterday, my son was arrested by the police because he made death threats to two girls from a school. I've been fighting for years to get my son a psychiatric evaluation, but no one believes me. For context, in the past, I was a victim of domestic violence. The father of my children essayed me, hit me, and tried to strangle me, assaulted me, and made death threats. He did all of this on impulse. He was never imprisoned because it was my word against his. I have full custody of my children, and he has them on the weekends. He lives with his parents, so there's some safety for my children. Co-parenting with my ex has been a battle for over 10 years, so he does everything he can to make me look like a bad mother. I'm the one who meets my children's needs while he just buys their love. My son is like his father. He has extreme impulses. He has punched holes in the walls, been violent at school, and done many other things. I have sought help multiple times, but I kept hitting a wall. Our healthcare system takes too long and doesn't take enough action. Most doctors didn't believe me when I told them about the situation. They pretended to send the necessary documents, but nothing happened. We are being followed by a social worker from a program that helps young people, but even she didn't see the severity of the situation. Every week I am forced to attend family meetings with my ex, who boasts that he has zero problems with our son and that the issue is only at my house. When I spoke spoke to the investigator. I told them I knew I would meet them one day because no one ever believed me. I feel so sorry for the victims my son has harmed. I know exactly how they feel because I have felt it in the past. Now everyone is scrambling to cover themselves. The father remains in denial, refusing to take any responsibility, but the truth always comes out. My son is with me. We are waiting for his court date. He has restrictions. He will change schools tomorrow, and he has a doctor's appointment to have medication and a reference in psychiatry. So that's the first initial update.
Jesus Christ.
That's a lot.
Is it just me, or does this give off like the? And I know it's an old case. I forget exactly what year, but it's another Bose video
This year.
as well. And I know this one's this year, but I'm saying this gives off like the mother vibes give off the mom a little bit from that one Bose video with Hunter, I think is the kid's name. He didn't want to get out of his dad's truck. He
I
didn't
don't
want to go stay with his. He didn't want to go stay with his mom and shit like that, and she called the police, and it like backfired.
Oh yeah, that was all over my TikTok for a while.
Yeah. It was like a
kind of
year or two
remembering.
ago, whenever it was real big.
His
I
name
can
was
show
like
it to you.
Cody or something. It started with C.
Cody!
Connor.
Yo, it better be Cody, otherwise we're just putting somebody on blast.
I got feel it in my
Someone's got
nuggets,
strays
man.
right now.
Also,
No, so,
Chaos,
like,
you're
the kid-
always
the kid
welcome to
wasn't
invade the
bad.
stream.
The kid wasn't bad, but it was like the mom was.
The mom was very
That's like
overbearing.
Yeah.
Yikes.
So like just the attitude here. I'm not saying that this is the same case, but the attitude here from the mother, which is who I'm assuming is making the post, it kind of gives me the same attitude as that kid's mom.
So I will say, I'm looking at the other two updates. They're small, but the first update is from March 20th of this
Oh
year.
god. That's so
The second update is from today.
Yo, this is fresh. All right. This is as fresh as
Oh
we
my
get. What we
God.
got? What
So,
we cooking with? What we cooking with?
real quick, my understanding is the bio dad piece of shit. Got it. Cool. Son is following in footsteps and is getting reprimanded for his actions legally.
What?
Bitch.
Yes. Yes.
I
The
was
answer is
answering
yes.
questions.
The answer is yes. You might be
Yes.
looking for an answer. It is yes.
Okay, yeah. Hit us with
Swing.
update. Jesus Christ.
Uh-huh.
All right. So, update March 20th, 5 weeks later. Several of you have asked me for an update, so here it is. In the days following the arrest, we consulted a clinic doctor to get a referral for psychiatry. He refused and told us to go to the emergency room. We didn't go because my son was not in a crisis, nor sick, or even less so injured. Our emergency rooms are overcrowded, and we risked waiting 20 hours. My first appointment we had after the incident with the social worker, who has been following up with my son since August, was very difficult. Sorry, I had to burp. My son's father said he was leaving, that he had done everything for our son to get help. I shut him down by telling him that calling Child Protective Services for cleanliness issues, false complaints, and the police for violence against me. I never hit my son, even though sometimes he deserves a kick in the butt. Only caused more problems for me and nothing else. During the meeting, the social worker tried to understand what was going on through my son's mind. In short, it was a teenage argument that escalated. The next day, the social worker scheduled an appointment with me alone. She referred me to 3 support groups. She explained that even though my relationship with my ex is over, he continues to exert another form of violence called post-separation domestic violence. Multiple stops in child support payments and false complaints, all that kind of stuff ties into it. I contacted one of the support groups, and they can help my son at the same time. My son has accepted that his behavior is not normal and that he needs help. Last Monday was the big day. My son appeared before the judge. Essentially, the lawyer received the case file that very morning, so the hearing was postponed to next month. On Tuesday, we had a meeting with the new school, and we had a brief discussion with them. For now, I'm still waiting for everything, but mentally I feel better. My ex is starting to realize that he's in trouble, and the worst is yet to come for him.
So
And she's happy about all this? She's like happy this happened. She was like stoked her kid got arrested.
She's happy he got arrested for the fact that now people are starting to believe that her son needs psychiatric help, that the father is the problem, that she has been through all this stuff and no one has listened to her.
So
I was gonna say I'm gonna need a TLDR because I'm a little confused with all of this right now.
So,
I'm not gonna
okay.
lie.
So mom has the son and whatever other kids she has. Okay.
Yeah, mom has
Ex
primary
did-
custody of son. Dad's
Yeah.
out of picture. Semi out of
Well,
picture.
Dad has
Semi
weekends.
out of
Dad's a
picture.
piece of shit.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. So her son was giving death threats to 2 girls at his school, and that caused him
Yeah.
to get arrested.
Yeah.
She knew at some point he needed psychiatric help due to how he was acting. He was acting like how his father acts.
Mm-hmm.
The father is basically
when someone says
gaslighting her. Yeah. The father is basically gaslighting her and everyone around them, saying like, oh, she's the one doing it. He's not safe with her. All that kind of shit.
no. Okay.
Now, she had a private meeting with a social worker, along with the son having a private meeting with the said social worker, referred them to support groups. They went to court for the hearing about him giving death threats and him getting arrested.
Mm-hmm.
Now, because the lawyer got the case filed that morning, it's been pushed back a month. And her husband is now starting to realize that he's starting to get in trouble.
Got it. Okay.
Go.
So it was a situation of the son and dad were both saying like, no, mom's making all this up type
Yes.
of shit. Okay. Yeah. Go ahead, Pum. Sorry.
all right,
And
no,
he
you're
is
good.
so toxic. The dad is so toxic that he is like polluting this kid, and it's got to be so gut wrenching for the mom to see her own spawn like be corrupted in such a way. So I guess it is such a relief to be like, thank you, this guy's finally getting the blame that he deserves. But man, you got to be between a rock and a hard place if that's what you're cheering for, you know?
See, that I kind of have a little problem with it for like granted, the son is doing creepy shit, weird shit. Don't do that. You know, I'm glad action is being taken and that you learn because I do think like the nowadays things of like gentle parenting where it's like no honey, don't make a better choice. That doesn't always work. If you're going to do something this severe, you need a severe like outcome, which typically is jail, prison, arrested, etc. But I have a kind of sort of issue with the fact that in the post numerous times she isn't stating that she's more so relieved about the son like facing legal action. She's relieved that people are believing her for her traumas with her ex. And so it seems like a bigger issue
Mhm.
than like,
But
oh yeah,
she's
my
also
son
saying
needs
that
help.
She's relieved. She's also
not-
relieved that he is finally getting the help that he needs.
Well, yeah, and
'cause
like
he
that's a good
knows
thing
that
to
his
be
actions
relieved
are
about,
wrong.
but it does seem like from the way that she's presenting
It
it with
seems
how
like she's
she speaks,
more relieved.
it's a little I I don't want to say projecting because like granted she's a victim and that sucks when people don't believe you. But the entire time of like your son is getting help, that should be the main focus, but we're somehow continuously backpedaling to but people now believe me and I'm getting closure that I never got. And it's like maybe you also need more therapy because granted, it's good that people believe you.
Well,
That's
she's
awesome. That
also-
feeling sucks. But like to get
She's
therapy.
also going to that support group as well.
Get proper therapy. I don't like support groups. I think they're kind of silly that we all sit in a
That's
circle and
balance.
trauma dump and bond. I think one-on-one
Alright.
therapy where someone can physically and like psychologically look at you and be like, here's X, Y, and Z. This is why it's happening. Let's figure out a mechanism. Support groups to me just ring of we're all traumatized. Let's trauma bond. And some of us will get
Echo
better and some of
chamber
us are going to
all
relapse.
agreeing we're the echo chamber of we were all the victim in some way, shape, or form, and this is why. And the person we were a victim to is a piece of shit. Essentially.
Granted, support groups can work. I just have like not my thing.
They all got their place, right?
Yeah.
So like support groups are going to help you be able to like speak your dragons, so you can like speak them into existence, so there's something you can fight. Getting clinical help, they're going to give you the strategies necessary to slay it. So like support groups aren't a bad thing. If you're a part of one, go for it. Just know that that's not an end-all be-all solution to your problems.
Exactly. And if it starts to turn into an echo chamber, it's not a good support group. You need to find somewhere else.
It might be a cult.
It might be a cult.
Speaking of which, if you guys are having any issues mentally, emotionally, come on down to Theo's Bread Gang, where we have nothing but cult-like activities for you to be able
That's
to...
wild. That is wild that you fucking promote.
Super, come on down. Theo's Bread Nights.
Pumpernickel.
That is wild.
Obviously got some sweet bread down there.
So is this where I tell you that
Honestly,
like
bread.
I have a gluten allergy and I can't eat bread?
Oh no!
Can't join the cult, guys.
I'm
Sorry.
so disappointed.
Who's ready for the last update?
Oh my
Yo,
god,
hit me
yes.
with it.
March
What the fuck
28th,
happened today?
2025.
Oh, fresh.
So, I didn't think I'd be updating so soon, but something just happened I wasn't expecting. When my son was arrested last February, I thought the police had checked his phone, but they didn't. On Wednesday, my son told me he no longer had his phone and the school confiscated it. I was angry because I'm sure he had done something wrong again. Yesterday, I went to the school and they informed me that it was a police order because they had to check if my son had complied with his conditions. I have to go back a little. My son dated one of the girls that he threatened, and during the relationship, she had sent a video of herself and forced my son to do the same. I always told my children never to send this kind of video, saying all the consequences it can have. My son looked for a video on the internet and sent it to her, saying it was him. She blackmailed him with this video, saying that she was going to send it to everyone and that he should no longer hesitate if he ended the relationship. That's when my son got angry and made his threats. A few hours before the arrest, the two girls assaulted my son by touching him in certain places. Let's go back to this week. My son's school was informed that the video of my son is circling everywhere in several schools. They had to inform the police because my son is a minor, even if it's not him. My son decided to file a complaint against the girls, and according to the person I spoke to, the charges should be dismissed. We still have to go in front of the judge in 2 weeks, and my son will still have help for not stopping the process, especially now that he is a victim and not an aggressor.
So he wasn't actually the
making a lot of
problem.
it up.
No.
It
Was
wasn't him.
potentially
No, it
making
wasn't
a lot
her
of it
making
up.
it up. It was they didn't have the full story. That she just thought
That
that
too. That too.
father was following or son was following in father's footsteps. They did more digging and found out that he was being blackmailed, which led him to an outburst of threatening the girls because
complete.
they assaulted him and then blackmailed him.
I'm not gonna lie. In this case, in all honesty, could have handled it a little bit better, but at the same
Hey,
time,
that was smart.
Completely,
That was smart.
completely justified in the way that he did handle it. One with the sending fake video. I mean, that's some old school tricks right there, brother. Like we was doing that back in my day and everything. So like, you smart for that. You smart for that. Never fucking send yourself in that situation at all.
Also, I know it varies state to state, but if they haven't already looked into it, minors, even if the video is not him, I wonder what the case would be though, because they're under the assumption that it's him. Even if the video's not him, everybody else thinks it's him. That is still revenge porn, and in most states, that is a federal crime.
So that little bitch that broke it, not broke his heart, but was fucking psycho, is about to get the repercussions of her actions. Okay. As well.
Oh,
And
that's fucking
so
insane.
All all I'll say is that kid's fucking smart for doing that, for one. Two, I hope that bitch gets arrested. Three, this family really knows how to pick them. Like,
I caught
no
the most.
shit. This family knows how to pick them.
Oh yeah.
Can
Oh, yeah.
everyone just get therapy?
I would say this: the only thing I
Therapy
would change,
costs too
right,
much.
was, instead of going after him and with the death threats, can y'all stop yanking on me right now while I'm trying to speak?
The demons.
Dude,
Oh.
The
the
demons.
story's so bad it's putting you in knots, man. I get it. I feel it too. Mine's just on the inside. I feel it.
But no, instead of making the death threats and all of that, see, with them threatening him with, oh, we'll spread it, blah 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 blah. If they had messaged him that, like if there was physical like writing or text of that and everything, instead of making death threats, go to the local, like, either go to your parents, go to the local fucking law enforcement yourself quietly, to where they think that you're gonna sit there and comply and shit until everything comes fucking crashing down on top of them, in the sense of like, oh shit, you actually told people what I was trying to do to you.
Granted, they are children and brains not fully
yes.
developed, so I can't
Yes.
expect them to make the
Very
right
true.
calls.
And you're gonna be panicked, you're gonna be afraid, you're gonna be worried. But the way I see it is, if the dad's as messed up as this lady's saying, if this lady is as messed up as she's saying, if this kid is as messed up as everyone's saying, yo, he is going to go to school and find the absolute most toxic girl and be like, that one. That's the one
I want that
right
one.
there. She smells like my name's on it.
That one. I want that one.
Yes.
The one over there. The one over there that looks like she's going to fuck me up mentally. That one. The one over there.
See,
I can change her. I can do it.
this also
End
brings.
up on VR chat if he's not already.
But don't do that.
They always do.
Don't do that.
I don't know. The only thing I can think of though is, so now that this has come to light that it actually wasn't the son instigating the same way the father had, I'm going to go back to my topic of what I said before the update. This mom is clearly projecting a lot of things, and she still has a lot of healing because she's accidentally dropping her trauma with the father onto the kid. And I think that's also going to create a cycle that's going to fuck him up. And it probably had, I'm not saying an entire play, but it probably had a play, because we don't know, like, we don't know this. I'm kind of just in Delulu land right now with a hypothetical, but we don't know how she's treating him. So we don't know if there's a conversation where if they had a heated argument and emotions got high and she shot him with a, you're just like your father. And that's going to mess with him mentally.
Yeah.
Forever.
Because she's not fully
Especially if it's
healing
right
if she
after a
jumped
breakup.
so quick to being like, he's exhibiting the exact same signs, instead of fully delving into the situation and figuring out, because it seems like this was all on the phone. If they had just looked through his phone sooner, this would have been solved. And instead it was, oh my god, you're just like your dad, you're showing the same signs, you need psychiatric help. And it's like, yes, he needs therapy now, but for an entirely different reason, not because he's like the father. Kids turn
And
out how
imagine
you
being-
raise them.
And
Imagine
anyone
being-
who's been a child of divorced parents, I don't know if any of y'all here are, but your parents are 1000% going to pack as much of their suffering into you as possible. They are going to
Oh, yeah,
take
100%.
everything that
100%.
hurt them and give you your own version of trauma as that as a kid, and that's exactly what I'm hearing here.
Your father's not good, or your father's not gonna do the XYZ for you, but I love you enough to do XYZ for you, or this, that, and the other type of shit. And,
Teacher.
yeah.
Yeah, it seems like the mom has a lot of healing. Yeah.
Does it work? Does it work with dead parents?
No. That's a different trauma.
Hey, but my dad projected the same shit onto me.
Squishy, okay, listen, I got you beat on that one. You want to know how so? Because my parents split and my dad's in a box or in an urn now at my mom's place.
Hey, my mom's in a box halfway across the country.
My parents are still together
You
and
could be
alive.
halfway across the country too, but you guys haven't moved.
Oh my gosh. Are we trying to one up each other on our traumas here?
Oh shit, man.
We
Your
don't wanna
dad
go
might be
down
in an
that
urn,
route.
but my dad's in an
We don't
urn
wanna-
halfway across the world.
My dad can beat your dad in a
Because we
fight.
don't want to go down that route.
What are we doing here?
No, the
Repeat
original
the
thing
next
I was gonna
story.
say is in regards to what Pum had said though, was imagine though, right, you're going through all this shit dealing with this chick trying to blackmail you and like causing you all of this stress already, right? And then you're dealing with it the only way that you can currently think of on how to deal with it. And instead of getting support from from family and stuff like that, Squishy, remember you can't do that anymore.
What?
I saw what she was doing over there, miss.
No, wait, hold on.
Exactly.
Put your camera on our side real quick.
I'm not done talking yet, miss.
I'm scared
Look,
too.
Dad. Look, Dad.
Oh my gosh.
Look,
Okay,
Dad.
camera's back on
To
Shadow.
do that, Squish. Thank you. Trying to get the whole fucking stream taken down over there.
Hey,
But that,
man,
and then
look.
to be rated on top of that by your own family and your own, like, what you would want to be your support system of then the potential, like, you're acting just like your father, you're XYZ, you're messing up here, there, and everywhere, you're bad or you're wrong for this reason, that reason, and like all of this shit plus all of the extra trauma that's probably behind that from them splitting and everything. Like, this kid was fucking going through it recently, and I
Yeah.
was so
And like, granted, you know,
sorry
there was
for
never
you,
outright
bro.
stated that she is
Mhm.
doing that comparison in front of him to him. But from the way that she has the
Mhm.
post worded of every time it was like, oh, my son's doing X, Y, and Z just like his father. Oh, my son is doing X, Y, and Z now just like his father. Now people believe me about his
Yeah, it
father.
was
It's like
always
you have
just
a
like his
lot
father.
of healing to do because this probably could have been solved sooner. And I don't think that the son felt comfortable enough saying, no, mom, that's not the case. Because at no point was it ever stated that the son is saying, like, no, mom, that didn't happen. Here's the truth. He was letting the legal proceedings happen as if he was the villain. He did not feel like he had a voice to say, like, that's not what happened. So I think the mom needs to maybe
Mhm.
step out that support group, go get some one-on-one, get a bit more thorough
Yo.
analysis done, and then also send your son to therapy. He now needs a lot. He'll be there for a while.
Even more than he
Oh,
did
yeah.
before. One thing I didn't understand is like, why did it take her so long to understand the truth? Yo, if my kid was in jail, like before anything happens, I am figuring out exactly what brought him there. I'm gonna become freaking Sherlock Holmes and figure out everything that happened that brought them to that point. And it wouldn't have taken me, what was it, like over a month for her to update that? Yo, that would have been next day.
That's what I'm saying is like, you're saying the school took his phone when the threats happened. Okay, you're the mom, you're the legal guardian. You
Mhm.
can go up to the school and be like, that's not yours, hand it over, and then look through it and see it. And if you had seen any of that, but instead you went on the whim of, oh, he's threatening people, just like his dad, let the legal happen. Like, if you had just, it probably took all of 2 scrolls to find those
Exactly.
messages. Like, that's
Damn,
a little
OP,
crazy to
that
me.
that post title kind of aged like fucking sour milk there, didn't it, mom?
But I thought I had a lead up and then I forgot what this one was titled. Oh, families. That's the only lead up I have to our third story of the night, if y'all are ready.
Families? What could go wrong?
What's
No,
a family?
everything. Shut up.
Girl, I swear to God, if you don't take a look at the main Discord server that we are all in daily and retract that question, I'ma smack the shit out you.
I'm changing your server name to Daddy Issues.
Put it to daddy and mommy issues and I'll be happy.
But this
Just
next
put parent
story
issues.
is yet another new subreddit for us because I don't think we've touched on this one a whole lot. And it's nuclear revenge. So it's not just your average revenge. And it's titled Aunt Broke My Model Kit, so I took away her everything. This whole thing started exactly a year
I'm
ago,
so
but just
interested.
ended, and a friend told me to post it, so here we go. I live in Turkey, and as you know, southeast of my country was wrecked by a couple of giant earthquakes a year ago. My city was the epicenter. While the house I lived with my family wasn't destroyed, a lot of shelves got knocked off, and one of them was where I had my my gun pal kicks. I'm going to assume that's Gundam, basically. Out of all the kits I had, only one survived. A MG the O that was MG the O. I don't know. It was heavily customized. I had built it with my grandfather who had passed away a few years ago, so I was ecstatic it survived. A few months after everything had calmed down, my mother called her relatives for dinner, which included Aunt B, not for bitch, her name just starts with the letter B. that they put that as a note. She came
That's
alongside.
wild. Assuming we all thought it was Aunt Bitch, all right?
I mean, I fucking thought it was Aunt Bitch so far from what we've heard, I'm not gonna lie.
She came alongside her son, which is 8 and is an entitled brat. While the adults were drinking coffee, this little brat barged into my room and demanded to play with my computer, which I refused since I was editing a video for my college society and had the camera on. Well, the brat went back crying to her
Bitch,
mother, who
fuck out of
came
my room.
and started yelling at me. While I was dealing with her, the little brat climbed my desk and took the model kit, then immediately dropped it and stepped on it. The rest of that was yelling, me swearing them up and down, telling them they were going to pay for it, her calling me a weirdo for still having toys, and that she wasn't going to pay for shit. My mother was first a bit not into making her pay to keep peace, but when she realized it was the kit that I made with my late grandfather, her dad, she was angrier than I was and went out for blood. We took the case to a friend of ours who is a
Understandable.
lawyer that specializes within family cases. They told us, since my camera caught it all, that we would definitely win, but it was better to come to an agreement out of court and a settlement since it would be cheaper. I pulled out a price list of the kits I needed to make an exact replica of the one that was destroyed when it came out to about $1,000 USD, which is about 25 to 27K in Turkey's currency with the exchange rate. Well, she
Nice.
refused. She refused, so we took her to court. She pulled all kinds of bullshit to not pay and to delay it. But the judge ended up making her pay 1,650 USD plus an order for her to pay any border taxes on the replica kits alongside the court and lawyer fees. It completely fucked her savings. Her husband, who was already waiting for a chance to divorce her, took it. When it all ended up, she had nothing and even lost the custody of her child to her ex-husband, and not only lost the down payment she had for a house, but lost all of her savings and didn't get any alimony from her husband. Am I happy that her life got completely fucked? No, not really. Do I feel
Yes.
sorry it happened? Not in the slightest.
Nope.
She and her crotch goblin fucked around and find out. That's simple. I feel bad for her husband, though. He is going to be the one trying to make that brat into a normal person, and I don't envy it in the slightest. And I will say, I did some lurking. I actually found an update. But I want to hear y'all's thoughts first.
Rule of thumb: don't be an entitled fucking prick and think that you're gonna take everything the way that you want it from anybody and everybody. And maybe whenever you push the wrong buttons, your ass will get taken to court for everything that you fucking own.
I can't even begin to imagine how, like, the tiniest pebble grew into, like, this catastrophe that ruined this
Right?
family.
The whole ass, like,
Ruined this family. You got a
mountain
little
of it.
kid running around being a little kid being stupid, and the parents like, all right, that's it. Time for a divorce. It's over.
If the husband was that
One-
quick to divorce, like the aunt was definitely a lot to deal with aside from a model kit being broken.
She
1000%.
sounds like an entitled Karen, in all honesty.
Oh,
Like, just the
absolutely.
attitude that she had. She sounds like one of those, like, I deserve whatever it is that I want just because I exist on the earth. You seeing me right now is a privilege kind of
And
attitude.
everything
Like,
my
nah,
child does is amazing and a blessing. They have never ever done a
Exactly.
single thing wrong in their
Exactly.
life. And if you accuse them of anything, you're a monster that belongs in jail.
Yeah, no.
Sorry,
Okay,
hold
Karen.
on. I'm gonna go puke real quick. That was fucking disgusting.
Right? Like,
I'm gonna take
bitch,
my
get a
leave.
grip.
You can't leave me.
Yo, Squishy's out.
Dude, I will
Hey, when
say,
you come back,
The
can you
fuck you
bring a
mean?
can of the bitch
Can-
juice for everybody?
aside of like all of the entitlement within this post, and like definitely the aunt got her just desserts because it's sounding like even aside from this incident, she was a lot to deal with for the family, her husband, her ex-husband.
Mhm.
But can we? This is a little side note that I hate this. Whenever an adult comes for another adult going, you still play with toys? Can we stop doing that? Dear God, please. Because listen, I'm going to tell y'all something that I recently did that made me the happiest I have ever been in a minute when it comes to like hobbies, right? As a kid, I collected Pokemon cards. And that was typically consisted of like either the McDonald's Pokemon cards or, you know, Christmas gifts where it was like a Pokemon pack. But primarily it was like, oh, we're going shopping at Walmart. I was good. And mom said, you know, Pokemon cards are cheap. Go pick out one pack and there you go. And that was what started like my collection a lot of the time was just packs at Walmart. Obviously nowadays, scalpers for Pokemon cards are really, really bad. Walmart does not have any. They are very hard to get your hands on. And I just haven't opened packs in years, right? So not only has my fiance, he went out one day and he bought me 5 packs of cards to open. That was awesome. I was so overjoyed to sit there and be like, ooh, this one's pretty and this one's my
Fucking
favorite character.
great.
Recently, like a few days ago, we were at the game store and there was a trainer box where it's like 6 packs, the cards, the coins, the dice, the instruction manual, like the full 9 thing, and like a promo card. I am 24 years old. I have never opened a trainer box. And the joy I felt sitting there holding that as an adult and opening my first Pokemon card trainer box was delightful. I have never been so overjoyed over Pokemon cards. So I really hate that other adults come for like people who are grown going, that's for children. I am grown and I'm allowed to let my inner child be happy and I'm allowed to do things that make me happy. I hate that people do that. I've even had people come to me now, like in regards to getting married soon, a lot of the comments are, oh, do you and your fiance still play video games? You still do that? Yes. It's how we met.
Every
It's a
fucking
common
night.
bond. It's how we bond. It's how we have date nights. Like, that's our relationship. And people think it's weird that we play games, but it's like, we're not harming anybody. You want me to
Bruh.
go out in the street and like punt a
Bruh.
child? I don't know.
there's a few YouTubers that I watch nowadays, right? That they're for my space game, which we're not going to go down that whole rabbit hole. We know how long that is, but there's one that I watch, and he's well into his, I want to say like 60s now at this point, and he still streams and plays the game every day and has like this massive community of people and stuff like that and shit. Like, one, I will always say that like age should never dictate what you do to have fun. Yes, it should still dictate certain things, don't get me wrong, but age should never dictate what you do to have fun. And also, on the topic of like models and shit like that, if you're gonna sit here and tell me that it's okay and it's normal for an adult to build a little fucking model car, but it's not, that has like maybe 150 to 300 some odd pieces to it, but it's not okay and it's not normal for an adult to sit down and build a 1,200 fucking piece or like 3,000 piece Gundam suit, which is a fucking for those who might not know, a big ass fucking robot with a lot of tiny little intricate moving parts and shit like that and everything. And you're gonna sit here and say that that's only for children? Like, nah, you can go fuck yourself.
My
If
fiance
it's normal
collects
for
Gundam
people to-
kits, and I love watching him build them.
Exactly.
They're the greatest thing.
Like, that's like saying that it's not normal for people to play D&D or to fucking paint their Warhammer minis and shit like that.
Someone
Dude,
said in my
normal,
chat,
so is
"You leave Gundams out of this."
They're cool. I got to listen.
You get
So
it. Gundams
he
are
collects
awesome,
them and
bro.
he builds them. There was we went to Hobby Lobby has like good deals on Gundams. For those who don't know, if you want a good deal on a Gundam, go to Hobby Lobby. I bought one
Fucking
and I
hip.
built one with him. It is so fun. They're neat. I like it.
It's like a little puzzle that you get to put together, and then at the
It
end of
is.
it, you get to keep this cool fucking theme.
But like, you
I
know,
just wish Gundams were
I'm
real.
glad the aunt got that for her just desserts on that as well. As well as the fact of
Honestly.
like, never listen, if it's not yours, you have to run off the basis you break it, you buy it. Family, friend alike. Like, if you guys came over and I showed you one of my really neat things and you intentionally like stomp it into the ground because you think it's weird, oh yeah. Oh, we're going
yeah.
nuclear.
At that point, they don't have to worry about buying you back the thing that they broke. They have to worry about paying for their couple of $1,000 hospital bill after you're done.
Oh my gosh.
But I do
just
have
to
an
say
update.
though, that was
Oh,
that
wait.
if you're one of those people who like complains about people playing with things, like it's moderation. It comes down to moderation at the end of the day. You know
It
what I'm
does,
saying?
and it's like, why are you
don't wanna
dogging on
be playing
happiness?
games so much that it ruins your life, but like you should have fun. If you're not having fun, you're not like sparking that joy of the child who's inside of you, and like you're just an
Exactly.
old, dead, sad person at that point.
Literally, like I texted my dad when I so one of the
Man,
Pokemon
you
cards I
gotta call me
opened
out like that.
actually it paid for the box back. If I were to sell it, the ungraded rate of that card is like $70. Will I? No, it's pretty. I like them. I'm not really a seller. I'm a
Someone
collector.
said their figurine pushes glasses up. I literally just read the chat.
It's fucking Discord
Their
mods.
figurines.
But like I was so
Kept playing with
excited
dollies.
over the cards that I received, especially after finding out that like the one of the prettiest cards that I've ever seen. Well, also it did pay back the box if I ever sell, which not happening. I will collect until I'm dusty.
What Pokemon is
I
it?
was
What
so
Pokemon is it?
It was Articuno. It was a full art holo. It's awesome.
Oh my gosh, I love Articuno. It's like my
was
favorite one of
beautiful,
the main
bro.
three birds.
Dude, this thing was fucking beautiful.
I sent a picture to my dad. I was so excited because my dad's who got me into Pokemon because he's obviously, you know, he's my dad. He watched Pokemon come into the US and him and my uncle actually like had Pikachu keychains and stuff when Pokemon first came around. So like even he was excited about this card. And so it's like just be happy. Spark your inner child. I think it's dumb, but we do have an update.
Oh boy.
And it is so it was just the same title of like Aunt broke my model kit, I took her everything. Update. This update actually comes from 7 months ago. So for reference, the post was a year ago, the update was 7 months ago. Hey, I'm not sure how updates are done with this subreddit, but the shitstorm continued and some people were asking for an update, so here it goes. Well, the time the judge gave my aunt to pay what she owed me came and went, but she didn't make any payment at all. So we legally had to push the case into legal collectment. Cops went to her house and she wasn't there. She was in her house but didn't make any noise. So cops had to leave and get a search permit to enter and look for her. They found her inside, having sold her everything and ready to illegally leave the country to not pay anything and start a new life. She literally was about to go on the run for a Gundam.
Oh my god.
So like I love that. When they were there apprehending her, she attacked the cops. She actually clawed the eye of one of them, causing permanent damage and adding multiple charges to her file.
She blinded that's a felony right there because that's permanent damage.
She was taken to court again, this time for crimes alongside not making the payment in time that the court had told her from the last time. I'm not sure if I can legally list all of the things that she was charged with, but in the end, She got 18 years and 9 months jail time with no chance of parole until the 15th year. And yes, since she sold
Jesus
everything to leave
Christ.
the country, the court took the amount she had to pay us, recalculated it to today's tax numbers and exchange rates, before putting the rest of the money in an account that her son would get when he is 18. As for the brat, in the first post, I had told that the husband had divorced her and gotten custody. Well, the kid's personality is so bad, they took him to a psychiatrist and decided that because of my aunt's shitty parenting, he was showing personality issues. He is now in pre-military boarding school for troubled kids, which he hates completely.
No.
As for the money, I would love to
because he
say
can't
that
just
I
do
used
whatever
it.
the fuck he wants.
Oh my god. As for the money, I would love to say I used it to get the parts necessary to remake the kit, but I had to put it into a savings account. The government recently changed border tax systems, so the previous money became a substantial amount with the new numbers. Like, hilariously so. As much as I would love to spend it all on Gundams, I have to think about the future, so it's gonna stay in a savings account getting fatter by the day until I graduate.
Smart.
Good for him.
Wow.
I am so happy for that. Like, the kid honestly got what they deserve to a degree. Like, granted, I can't fully say that it was all, like 100% the kid's fault, considering the fact that the mother was basically spoiling the child and just letting them do whatever the fuck they wanted and My Little Angel type shit.
Kids getting 20 years
But
of trauma in
is-
3. God damn it, Nips.
Motherfuckers going through a military boarding school, though, like going from having everything you ever wanted given to you and never being told no to get on the fucking ground before I make you get on the fucking ground.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, it's fucking beautiful to me because I hate spoiled little brats.
Dude,
Dude,
and
I
this
just can't
mom
believe-
was absolutely next level. The ability to turn
Yeah,
a broken
she
Gundam
went-
into 18 years in prison has got to be a talent I will never understand.
She was
I
gonna
don't
flee
know
the
how
country
you
for
do
a
that,
Gundam.
but congratulations.
I just can't imagine that.
The one of the good things I will say, semi-good things that's coming from this, from the mother's actions specifically, right? And don't get me wrong, I feel bad about it, and I feel bad for him. But that cop that she clawed the eye out on, he's set for life now. With that one disability, he's set for life.
He
Because
better
it was
be.
on the job. It was on the job, meaning he will get. If he doesn't get medically retired, he'll, one, get a desk job, but two, if he wants, he'll probably get the option to be medically retired. Meaning,
Bro, I
he
hope
gets
so. This is Turkey we're
retirement
talking about here. I
and
hope their health
disability.
benefits are as good as ours. Because, bro, homeboy's out here
Right.
catching strays. You want to talk about the butterfly effect? Some little, like, dumb kid
Gundam
breaks
kid.
a Gundam, and now you can't see properly anymore for the rest of your life. You don't even know who this kid is. He's not involved in your life at all.
Yo, imagine
Yo,
being
if
in
anyone
prison as the
loses
mom.
here, I think it's him.
Imagine being like in
What's up,
prison as
Pam?
the mom, and it's like, oh, you know, like you're gonna have like the hardest criminals known to man, right? Like 18 years, you're gonna meet some strange people. Granted, you'll have like the softer cases of like drug dealing, but you're gonna meet like hard criminals that are like, yeah, I stabbed somebody. What are you in for? My kid broke a condom kit, and I tried to flee the country. Fucking
Bitch is
what,
gonna
bro?
get stabbed herself. No, actually, I take that back. She ain't gonna get stabbed herself. They're gonna look at her and be like, "Are you kidding me?"
She's gonna be a laughing stock in
You're
prison.
wasting valuable. You're wasting, bruh. I can't imagine being told you're wasting valuable prisoner space, or you're taking up valuable prisoner space with your existence right now.
Jeez.
Dude, she's getting solitary confinement 2 weeks in because she's gonna be complaining about like the towels are too rough. Right? And then another woman's just gonna suplex her onto her face, and then no one's gonna talk to her ever again.
My roommate it will not go to sleep when it's lights out and snores too loudly. I can't get my full 8 hours of sleep. I want a new roommate.
Yep.
That's not how it works.
No,
Oh my
bitch.
God.
Roommate, or
All
I'm
for a
going
Gundam
to
kit.
the ward. Jesus Christ!
Don't break model kits, y'all. You might get 18 years. Just saying.
Yo, you know
Be
who won out of
careful.
this?
Exactly.
You know who won? You know the biggest winner? The ex-husband.
Mhm.
That dude got out. He saw what was coming. He saw 18
Got
years in
out.
prison trying to flee the country, and he's like, you know what? I just can't anymore. I'm out. I'm out. I think if anybody wins, it's that dude.
When he gets a new
Not only
girlfriend,
that,
no, when he gets a new girlfriend, I want you to imagine the conversation of like if she is feeling emotionally insecure one night and she's like, "Oh, baby, I'm so sorry if I'm like a little crazy," and he's gonna be like, "You want to know about crazy? Do I have a story for you?"
My ex-wife is in prison for 18 years for breaking a figurine. That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's like
But
the
no, not
coolest
only
story.
that, right? Not only that, she sold everything. He got a divorce, which means he probably got whatever was left over from her paying to the guy
Mhm.
for his Gundam shit. Ex-husband probably got the rest of that shit. Plus, instead of just having the kid and having to try to figure everything out themselves with that, instantly to fucking military boarding school to fucking get that shit sorted out and everything.
Oh, I
And
love
so
life.
he can sit there and be like, all right, listen, it's been a crazy last couple of fucking months. I'm taking a break for a minute and taking a breather, yo.
All because of a
I
Gundam
know.
kit. I think
Yep.
with that, Swishy
Yep.
should hit us with her last story. I just don't know if you could top Gundam kit arrests.
18 years in
Um,
prison.
I don't know. I might. Because the fact that when you open this page for this story, it has the not safe for work blurred bubble on it.
Oh
See,
boy.
the Gundam kit one had that.
Whoa.
I will say that.
I don't know. Can you tell if this person is the asshole for telling their partner that she will act and moan like porn stars do if he gives the same amount of money what they receive after the shooting?
Excuse me, what?
What? Huh? What? Huh?
We'll be doing Repo with Rye soon. Stay tuned for that stream. It's going to be a drunk stream as a fair heads up to chat. And Nibs, I will lock you in a room, a rubber room.
Oh my gosh.
Wait, does this mean I'm getting a friend?
Yes. No more
You're
rats.
getting a
I'm
friend.
sorry to condemn you to this fate, but guess what? You know, it'll give them reason to get us a
So-
bigger fucking cage.
Obviously, based off the title, we're coming from Am I the Asshole? There are trigger warnings of misogyny, body shaming, porn addiction, essay, and objectification.
All right.
So those are your trigger warnings.
So, you know, some
got
light
a
stuff we got
good
coming here. We're
Discord
ending off on a
mod.
nice light hearted
The-
note. That's good.
Original post is from March 9th of this year.
Just happened.
Oh,
I
God.
So,
I love how we're getting all of these recent ones that like just happened, so we can
you're welcome.
date in real time.
fresh. Fresh.
Because imagine, like the one you real quick before you start. Imagine, you keep up to date with the one you just read, and like a year and a half from now, for some random reason, OP comes back with another fucking post about
Yo.
like, so found out that this is what's going on with the family. All right, go ahead, sorry.
That'd be neat.
Alright. So this is how it starts.
Oh, no.
My partner is a porn addict.
Okay.
I know he is. Not just his phone or his PC. Or no, but. Sorry, they misspelled but, and it made my brain hurt. But his PC is full of it as well. He doesn't even hide this fact. Our sexual life is a disaster. He tries to do things to me what he sees in videos,
Oh, no.
but it doesn't matter how many times I told him it doesn't feel good or it hurts.
Gord.
It doesn't. Shut the fuck up. Okay, I can't read. Oh, I'm illiterate. So sorry for the TMI, but he does this very aggressive and rapid movement on my bean
Bits.
and loads of pressure without any foreplay, and I flinch in pain every time. I explain to him how I would like it, and he tells me normal women like it this way, or
No.
you just are just too sensitive.
It's not a DJ turntable.
Foreplay is foreplay is non-existent.
To go
When
fucking jackrabbit on the tip of your fucking down there, mister. Like the little fucking eyeball you got down there on the one-eyed snake. You want somebody just on the
I
fucking
hate
tip
this
of that?
terminology.
Dude,
I just see him like grabbing
Okay.
her and doing like an alligator death roll.
So foreplay is non-existent. When he actually, sticks it in, I have to bend like a pretzel and pull my legs at my shoulders, which I'm not able to do. But it fills him with frustration, disappointment, and aggression. He told me several times I should be more flexible like other girls. He then proceeds to tell me he's angry about how he has to initiate all the time. I wonder why. And every time when a scene comes on TV, he makes comments like, "I'm jealous I'm not written like that," or "See, that's what I want." My TikTok just got shut down. I can't see my chat anymore.
Oh,
Oh no!
that is why I can't do it on
was too
TikTok.
much sauce. Too
Your
saucy.
live discontinued, dude. Oh,
Was it due to inactivity?
yeah.
Because I
Oh,
got that
thank God.
prompt.
You're
So
fine.
no,
You're
TikTok did
fine.
an update recently where it's due to inactivity, where they'll pop up an image on your screen where it's like drag the puzzle piece to fit. And it's
It
not
didn't
that
pop
you're
up an
being
image for me.
inactive, it's the fact that we can't see it 90% of the time through here. It only shows up on the computer monitor. It almost
Mhm.
happened to me the last time I was live on TikTok, but Rosie thankfully clocked it and did it for me before it shut down my stream.
I
Happens
don't
at about
care.
an hour too. That makes sense.
I don't care.
Yeah, that's the good one. That's the
Anyways.
not banned
Everybody
one.
should
So you're fine.
migrate. Everybody
Um,
should just migrate to Twitch anyways.
so last time it got me so tired and frustrated, I told him those actresses in the movie gets loads of money and fame at least. In exchange for this role, there's something there. Therefore, it is something for something. A business deal, obviously, she will act how they want her to act. Then he told me it proves every woman just wants money and gets their punani wet just for the thought of loads of money.
I know.
I told him I doubt she was actually wet, or if any real sex was happening again. It is an act.
Met
They're
before
actors.
would be saying.
We'll have that conversation later.
It's not
Um,
real.
He got furious and told me to stop gaslighting him and just be like a real woman, initiate sex, moan loudly, and act like how corn stars do, basically.
Oh, God.
I told him I will. In that second, he gives me the amount of money they receive after shooting the movie. Then he called me names like whore. That's not a slur. Whore. And again accused me that I am after money. I told him I was after money. I would that I have never gotten together with him. He started yelling. He started yelling something, but I didn't hear it anymore. And I was thinking on how on earth I got together with someone like this. I don't need advice. In the moment, I just realized I don't feel anything towards him anymore, and I have to leave if I want to keep my sanity and if I ever want to have a great sex life again.
Oh, go
There
girl.
is an update.
Throw him away.
Yep.
Throw him
Yeah,
away.
no, this dude is a piece of shit, yo. Like,
Yep.
porn's not. I agree, like what you were saying before. Porn's not real.
not
Like, I'm
real.
not gonna go and get in like to a situation with somebody where one thing leads to another, and we end up going to do the deed and expect it to be like some fucking scene from our favorite fucking black and orange site.
Yo, get it.
Like fucking I'm not gonna expect it to be sounding like that, or for them to be trying to bend in those fucking angles. I'm not expecting us to sit here and go for the next fucking 4.5 goddamn hours hitting 7 different places across the
So,
fucking room that we're in and shit. Like, it's not realistic. Go
I
ahead.
have friends in this industry. Okay. And obviously I'm nosy because I don't know the industry. It's not real. Aside if you don't have the
It's
common
not.
sense to
It's
know
not.
that it's not real, it's not real. And when he's saying these phrases of like, why aren't you exhibiting these bodily patterns? I want you to know right now that you can buy fake substances that look like the real thing, that is cut off camera, that is used. So it looks like you are certain bodily functions are happening, and it's not. It's all fake. It's in a
Yeah.
bottle.
Yeah. Yeah.
Also,
So
please
it's-
don't DJ turntable on your girl. That doesn't
No.
don't do that.
It hurts.
We all know the true damage of corn is that it will take away from the nearness and intimacy you are one day going to have with your long-term partner. Like flat out, that's what it does. We all know that to be the case. This dude's problem is that he doesn't understand that he needs to be satisfying his partner as much as he's getting satisfied himself. Like, he doesn't understand that the game is for both of you to have the best time possible. And he's hitting that corn button so much that I bet you a normal instance with his girl isn't enough to satiate him anymore.
Oh,
He's gone so far down the rabbit hole that he isn't satisfied, so he's pushing her and pushing her and pushing her. And what he doesn't realize is that he's pushing her away.
I mean, aside like one, don't call your partner names. Of like porn addiction aside, if you result in an argument and it only results to name calling, we're like, because I think arguments are common amongst any relationship, friends, family, partners. I think an argument is bound to happen. Just bad mood, something made you mad, whatever, right? But you need to be adult enough and mature enough to be like, all right, why are we upset? Let's have a conversation. If you result out the get to calling names and saying rude things, one, the argument is lost if you ever wanted to win, which also I should say in relationships, it is not about winning arguments. You can have the arguments, there is no winning side. The win of an argument is coming to a conclusion that you both agree on. It's not the I was right, you're wrong, or vice versa. Don't do that. That's a bad, don't do that. But the fact that he's out the gate going to like, you're a whore, you're doing this for the money. Are you loaded with money?
If I paid you, then you would be fine with doing. Like, no,
Like,
she's
she's not being paid to do this for you. You clearly don't care about her needs at all, or you wouldn't be forcing this on her in the slightest. And it's also, again, with the name calling, for just the phrase itself, whore, that is insinuating that somebody sleeps around. Clearly, if she's just with you, like, look in the mirror, buddy. You're just saying that about yourself. You're projecting insecurities due to your addiction instead of self-reflecting, and that's a big fucking issue. Also, like, another entirely different side tangent from being abusive. Foreplay is important. For those who don't have partners or have partners, please understand that is such an important thing. Hi, mom and dad. I know you guys watch this podcast.
My God.
I am not a degenerate. I just know that that's a thing. I am a child of God at heart. It's kind of
Liar!
Someone who is quite literally only slept with 2 different people, and both of them telling me that they either didn't like foreplay or weren't into it or something like that. And
I don't
as
like it.
being someone who has wanted to kind of be in, but yeah, but I'm sure. Okay,
I'm
do
not
you? This is gonna be a little bit of a personal question, but do you give any kind of version of foreplay at all whenever you and your husband go to do the deed for you?
I mean, obviously, I'm gonna, fuck it.
Oh,
But,
okay,
like-
okay, wait, hold on.
I don't need. I
I'm
don't
scared.
need the gestures or anything like that. I don't need the details.
How the fuck am I supposed to say it?
Yeah, just yes or no. Do you
Yes.
have at least
I do.
Okay.
Do I like receiving it? No.
Okay, but you at least give some. The two people that I was with neither gave nor liked to receive.
So guys, the
And-
update.
But I think
let's drop this whole conversation. Update.
Our
Simply
personal
saying
lives
foreplay
aside,
is important.
I think it
Coming
just
from a person who's
it
never
comes down to
actually gotten
communication.
any, foreplay is important.
Everybody has their own, I'm not going to say kinks, but everybody has their likes and dislikes when it comes to, you know, fun time in the room. And that comes with communication. And he is lacking
Mhm.
every aspect of communication in every aspect of the relationship, and it's really showing in this, because when you have that time with your partner, you not only are you your most vulnerable, because I mean, hello, you're naked, you're showing every aspect of yourself, you are literally the most vulnerable you can be in front of the person that you love.
Exactly.
But communication is such a big, like, key thing of, hey, I like this, are you cool with that? No? Okay, then we'll scrap that. I also like this. How about that? That's cool. Awesome. Let's try that. And it should be about both
Exactly.
people. If it becomes a one or the other, I can understand on the off chances of, like, hey, tonight I just want to satisfy you. That's cool. That's normal. But if it is like a regular basis of, like, no, it's what I want and you will cope, that's not love. And if anybody out there is going through that
No.
shit, dear God, run. It is
Get
better to be
out
alone.
now.
One of the marks of a good man is his ability to satisfy his woman. If you're the type of guy who like isn't giving her a better experience than yourself, then you're not striving for the right thing, yo. And this guy clearly doesn't understand that at all.
Is there an update?
Yes.
Oh my
Oh,
god,
boy.
I thought I read the story for some
Oh.
reason, and I checked my Google and I was like, there's no update. What are you talking about? And then I realized I didn't read it.
When
I
was the
would-
update posted?
March 18th. I would like to say, I bet you this motherfucker has a tiny PP.
Millimeter, not defeater.
Okay, anyways.
Millimeter Peter.
Okay, so after I wrote that post, I started packing my things while my boyfriend was standing behind me, shouting like he had lost his goddamn mind. Told me I couldn't leave, and when I zipped up my bags, he stood in front of the door and blocked it. When I thought he couldn't sink any lower, I will try to quote the exact last conversation we had. Him. So, you will just leave because I told you what I want? Me. No, I'm leaving because I was the one who tried to communicate several times. You command, threaten, and are aggressive and belittling him because you don't listen.
Fucking man, baby.
Her, I listened, but I can't give you what you want. I'm not a corn star, and you don't understand they are acting. I don't want to act when I have sex with, when I have fun diddle time with someone. Not to mention, it is not real fun time what they are doing. That they're just acting. Him. What do you mean it's not real? When he literally, you know, her.
Passionate
I don't know another
hug.
word for that. Passionately hug her.
Icy cuddles.
Her. So you think when a guy puts his pee-pee into her thing,
I love this terminology.
it's passionately hugging, you know? What about the connection, the pleasure to caress each other, the foreplay, the aftercare to connect in every way? Him, that is not real. At this point, I just chuckled and asked him to move out of the way. He refused. Him, so you admit money makes you enjoy sex. I'm fucking sending it now. I'm at the end.
God, this! What the
Her.
fuck? How did we circle back to? Oh my god, this fucking I'm going.
Her,
I didn't say it, I
no,
didn't say it.
but if I can't get anything enough out of our encounters and you want me to act, at least I can get the money. I won't enjoy it. I will just act like how corn addicts think women enjoy real sex. but it is not. So if you if you want me to act without enjoyment, what's more pain? What's more pain? I want to get something out of it. Him, then enjoy it, or I doubt it. I won't start.
Enjoy it, but
I won't start about exploration.
exploration.
No.
Exploitation.
Exploitation of women and why exactly they go into corn, or of all the extra work they go around with the shooting him. So women enjoy being mistreated, or I doubt it. But even if they do, I think you don't understand the difference between BDSM in a safe relationship and abuse. They need help.
I was gonna say this reminded me of one person, but that person has since shifted wholeheartedly to somebody else. I just want to state that now. Like, oh my fuck! Keep going. I'm sorry.
She's dropping daggers, though. Dropping daggers.
They need help. I don't want to go to a therapist to enjoy sex. Him. You just don't love me and never have. You are a fucking gold digger, piece of whore. I hope someone fucks you up. Her. It is already done. It was already done by you. He continued shouting, but at that point, I was completely numb. I am still numb. It feels like I wasted all of my energy and positivity in this relationship, and I have nothing else in me. Just asked him to move, and he finally did, but still continued to call me everything you can imagine. I think he was almost crying too. Doesn't matter. One of my friends let me stay at their place for a few weeks until I get my shit together, and I'm ready in every way to start a new chapter, but I am just numb. I think I really need a therapist. Thank you all for your comments, though. I tried to read all of it in the car. Note 1, some people asked why I got together with him, and the reason was because he showed a different side of him. He was polite, respectful, he made me laugh, he cared about me until I moved in. Then everything started to change. Note 2. Note 2! Yes, he had a small penis! Yes!
Called it! Called it! Oh! That was dropping a 3. Oh, bang!
Oh, this dude doesn't know.
Oh my god!
Shit together.
No,
Like,
Nibs is in the Twitch chat right now, and he
my
just
God.
basically summed up my thoughts for lack of better phrasing, because everything I say will get me banned. Nibs said, "Drop kick him in the balls." Oh wait, he doesn't have any.
that ain't a man. That is a giant fucking child. That is all that is. Wow.
He's the type of guy who would
I
be
just read
sipping
a
over
story,
corn stars
and
all
one
day
of the
long.
notes on it, babe, said
He
note
cannot-
2. Yes, he had a small penis.
Was your fiance asking why you're yelling?
You know,
Yes.
I will say.
Nothing
I will
wrong
say
with
this,
it. He was
right?
just an
Okay.
ass.
And think of me how you will with this. In all honesty, I really don't care. If you wanted to consume that content, and you wanted any of that,
I gave him a compliment, and he said, "Your hesitance speaks words." And I'm like, I can't say what I wanted to say on stream, babe. And he's like, you still hesitated.
Oh my gosh.
But no,
Look,
if you're gonna
man.
consume that kind of content and you want something that's out of that content that's like as close to the real thing as anything else, you're gonna have to look at sensual shit. That's all I'm saying. That's about as close. That's still not gonna be real, mind you. That's still not gonna be real, but that's about as close to the theoretical real as you're probably gonna get out of that type of content.
Dude, if this guy wants a real life, he needs to absolutely get off of all technology at all. He needs to be away from the internet because he
needs
can't
to
trust
touch-
himself with anything. He needs to go touch some grass. He needs to go be
Yeah.
outside and spend about
Yeah.
3 weeks without emptying his, tank. And then maybe then he could be of a mind to have a reasonable relationship with an actual woman.
Touch grass, not ass.
He can't have post nut clarity because he never gives himself time for the post.
Look, look.
He's always in the
If he,
pre-climb.
If he really wants this shit, why doesn't he just go into the industry himself?
Because he ain't gonna fucking
'Cause he
make
can't
it.
do
She
it.
put it at
He
the
can't
end
do
of
it.
the
Yeah.
fucking
He
thing.
can't
He's
do
got a
it.
tiny fucking
Dude.
pee-pee.
Nobody's coming on to Cornhub, to see a little 2mm, woo-ha.
That's valid.
Dude,
They ain't going for that.
I'm honestly
Gonna
still
let him
baffled that there's
upload 'cause
people
it's
who
too
think
damn
that
small.
that stuff is real. Because, okay, so obviously, if you are just like a casual enjoyer for what your own, I'm not gonna delve into anybody who enjoys those videos, right? Me personally, I cannot stand them, and it's not because of, I get, well, a little kinds of the content itself. The only reason main reason, not the only, main reason I don't like the breathing noises, because it's so fake and because it's so forced. To those who know what I'm talking about, women in those videos
Yeah.
do this thing where they breathe through their teeth, and I hate that noise so much. It's like it makes my spine hurt. I despise it. Can't stand it. The other simple factor, I think if you genuinely have affection for somebody, you don't find it appealing. Because for me personally, I am so invested in my partner. I do not like looking at two other people doing the deed because I'm like, that's not my partner. I don't find this attractive. I can't get into it. And then you throw in that weird noise, and I'm like, you lost me. Why are we doing that? That's and
Mhm.
if for whatever reason people can't understand what I'm talking about, it's specifically that thing. I hate it. Hate it. Hate it. Drives me nuts. Hurts the spine. It's gross. I just
Yo,
don't
Pum,
like
you hit on a really big point there, and I want to just echo that in myself too. I grew up a child of the internet. I think we all did. We all knew that corn was
Yeah.
ubiquitous. I'd fancy myself that too. But then I found my girl, and as we started to get closer together, that stuff started to interest me less and less and less because I realized the divide that it was separating between me and her. Now, I don't know if any of y'all have seen Seven Deadly Sins before, but Meliodas had it right. He was 100% pervy. He was up and down a girl as many times as you could possibly think. But it was only one girl. It was his girl. So go ahead, be interested in that stuff, but make it her. You know what I mean?
Exactly. I will say I agree with that because the times that I have been in a relationship, it's like you don't really, if you actually genuinely love and care for that person, you don't have those types of urges or anything else to go and look at other shit or anything else like that. Hell, sometimes you don't even have fucking urges in general for shit unless it's like you and her together in the same place and shit. And it's like it if you're with somebody, you shouldn't be having the urge or the want to go out and look at other people to try to get off. That you need to figure out why you can't seem to get off from and with your partner, and what you and or your partner may need to work on to fix those things for that part of your relationship.
Hey, I think you're
Instead of throwing a
95% of the way
tantrum.
there. Can I add one slight caveat to that?
Yeah,
One slight caveat.
Go for it.
When you
for it.
are with somebody, when you are with a partner, you are going to have urges to look elsewhere. That is human nature to the T. The noble choice is to ignore that sensation, to ignore that feeling, and pursue only your partner. Those urges will be there. But if you're a true person, if you're a true man, a true woman, and you want to be absolutely authentic and have a good, meaningful relationship, you should pick your partner over anybody and everybody else.
Exactly. Don't fall into the fucking disrespectfulness of chasing after your own personal wants and desires and shit because of just what you want out of everything. Like, you have to take into consideration what your partner wants and needs from the relationship as well, and it's not always going to be the exact same things that you yourself want and need.
Yo, I'll keep it honest. I know this is like a real life thing that they're dealing with, and like addiction and whatnot. But I think when it comes to like keeping your head in the game, basically, and like giving your all to your partner. I think we've all seen it. We're internet children, okay? But let's be real. How many times in VR chat have you seen very quick cases where it's like, oh, yeah, I have a girlfriend, but this girl over here is giving me attention and it's kind of nice. And I think we see it all too commonly just in like little pixel land that we kind of forget that this happens in real life too. And it's not any different. It's just the same hard cases of like, if you have a partner, you got to keep your head in the game. It doesn't matter if the pretty pixels are saying, oh, but look at me, you know? It's not real and it's not what you want in the end of the day, because that's just going to be a temporary fling of emotions and you're going to miss what you had.
100%. That's a trap. 1,000 times that's a trap. Let me tell you a story about a friend of mine.
Oh,
Friend of mine
God.
was in a wonderful relationship with a girl. She was amazing for him. You could say she was, you know, not necessarily the most flamboyant. She was fairly plain, but a good person, very compassionate, very loving, would do anything for this friend of mine. Right? A couple years into the relationship, he starts to feel bored about it. He wants to go do something exciting, have something new. He finds this girl, and she breeds all the signs of trouble. She's way too dangerous, way too volatile. She's in, she's out, she's up, she's down. He ditches this long-term 5-year relationship with this girl who like committed to him and was ready for the long haul with him just to go with this other girl. He moves out. They're in a place for less than 6 months. He gets to see how bad she is behind the scenes, all the things that he didn't realize was there. She was a raging alcoholic. She was breaking bottles. She was physically violent. All of the problems you could possibly imagine. And he realized too late that he was throwing away a good thing. Now, I'm not saying every group of pixels, every girl out there in a black cat is that same way. But what I am saying is, don't be so hasty to throw away what you have for the poison that's trying to grab you.
Exactly. Thank you.
Shit. A shot of whiskey at the bar is always quicker, but seems to taste better than a shot of whiskey at home when you're alone.
Ooh.
But it never lasts as long.
Ooh.
Damn straight. Anyway.
So yeah, that's what I got on that one. That's my take on that one, y'all.
And listen, you know, I would say normally right about now, this is typically the end of the episode, but I wanted to surprise something for y'all. So for those who aren't aware, and for those who are aware, we now have our own subreddit, which obviously you guys are allowed to submit your own personal stories in, whether it was an Am I the Asshole, nuclear event, anything you can think of. You just want to tell us a wacky story, whatever, you got it. As long as, you know, change the names and stuff, please, legalities and such. But it also allows you
a wild ass day at work, post it.
Right? We want to hear about it. We want to read it for you guys. It also allows you, if you're a lurker of Reddit like I am sometimes, and you find just a wild story and you're like, I want to hear their opinion on this, that is also there for you. And so I'm adding a 5th story of the night. This actually comes from our subreddit. And for those who want the name, if you go on to Reddit, it's literally r/VR podcast, because I could not put virtual Reddit. Somebody already took it. I don't know who you are, but I will find you. I will keep the username and all of that anonymous. This is actually one of my friends who submitted this, and it's just titled My Buddy's WTF Story. He did censor this down as best as he can. I can uncensor some of it. Some of it will remain as it is. So one day when me and my friend were at work transferring things from inside of a shipping container onto pallets that can be put in the racks of our warehouse, he randomly told me this story of a friend of his that he stayed the night with because they were getting really, really cross-faded. And it started out like this. He did put, in quotations, PGing this the best I can. So, buddy. So, funny story. One night I stayed at my friend's house with the rest of our friend group because we were all plastered and out of it. I got up to make a snack in the middle of the night when everyone else was asleep, or so I thought. Me, what do you mean by so you thought? The buddy. When I got done making a snack, I started walking back to the room that most of us were sleeping in at his house, and I saw one of the strangest things my friend has ever done in the good while that I've known him. Me, I don't like the sound of this. I'm gonna keep it real with you. Buddy. Somehow, without me ever hearing him or anything till I walked into the living room where he was sleeping, he made a DIY sock out of a Ziploc bag, peanut butter, and a couple of sponges,
No.
and he stuffed it
No.
into the couch cushions. I'll leave the rest to interpretation and unfortunate imagination. Me, what the hell?
Yeah.
Buddy, that's not even the craziest part. You're kidding, right? I'm scared to ask. Buddy, after he was done, this man looked at me and asked, "Hey dog, you want to go next?" Looking stoned out of his mind. Buddy said, I'm good. I'm gonna go back to the others and try to get some
The
sleep.
door's over there.
He couldn't sleep for the rest of the night, obviously.
The door's
After
over
this,
Yeah, I wouldn't either.
after he told me I had a full-blown spit take from the gallon of water I had that day, we laughed about it for a solid 20 minutes before going back to work. I can sit here and say, but that was by far one of the weirdest stories I have ever heard this man say, and he has so many more, but that one absolutely topped all of them without question. And for context of this story being brought up, he's referring to our podcast now. I either heard Shadow or Tay joke about something like that, and I mentioned it in the chat that I had a story but wasn't sure where I could type it out in the Twitch chat. But that's the story. Please don't judge.
Listen, okay.
Oh, I'm judging. I'm judging. You're not gonna say dog. I am definitely judging right now.
You're gonna get a special fucking thing that
Hi, Bear.
that you two at least know that I don't fucking do half the time.
Oh,
but
are we using
all I can
legs?
imagine
Oh my god, he's standing.
using legs.
Get here, get here, get here, get here.
Because I will here in a moment. But no, like what the fuck is wrong with me? Hold on, let me fix legs.
I can't believe what I just heard. And he wants me not to judge? That is too big an ask. That is too big. I'm sorry. I can't do that.
I will be DMing him after this episode.
But no. So I just
You gotta
imagine,
tell
right?
me who it is.
I just imagine he's just like you guys are at the fridge or whatever, right? And you turn around and you just have the guy sitting here at the couch and just, you want to go next, bro? Like, no,
I think I would go home.
I
would leave.
You know what? Y'all have a good one.
You know what? No.
I'm done.
After that demonstration, I'm just gonna.
I would call an
I'ma
Uber.
Just get on out of here.
I would call an Uber. Respectfully, if you come over for the wedding and all that, and I wake up for a little midnight hungover snack, and I see you doing some dubious shit, I'm in my own house. I'm walking. I don't know where I'm walking to, but I'm going anywhere but where you're at.
Oh my god.
Dude, I am
Mason,
running
keep
full
that
speed
shit in
into a
the
drop kick
fucking
and double footing this guy in the
motel.
face. I am like, get out of my couch, get out of my house. You're no longer welcome here.
I just gotta know
I'm
too.
sorry.
One,
A
why was
Ziploc
that?
Peanut butter and
That's what I'm thinking.
sponges?
Like,
Yeah.
you didn't have a tool. You couldn't also just go to the bathroom and do it the old-fashioned way. You had to
Yo.
make something.
How many
That's-
tries do you have to do this to realize peanut butter's a better alternative?
Also, the
You know what I
cleanup.
mean?
The cleanup. Peanut butter sticks to
You know what
everything.
my go-to is? Peanut butter on a sponge. No one does that first shot. No one's doing that.
Also, what kind of
First
sponge
shot.
are you
That
using?
is at least 30 deep.
I imagine like one of those like
see-
like those hospital sponges that are like super squishy and they don't have the rough side with all the holes in them.
No, so
I've never been
one thing I will
hospitalized
say
that
this,
long.
right? One thing I will say is this. and I don't want any of y'all to judge me. It wasn't for my own personal shit. It was just out of curiosity when hearing about shit like this back in fucking high school.
Did you
and
stick
not
your dick in a
believing
jar
it.
of peanut butter?
No, not at all. I looked up like what they typically use in for making the type of shit like this. Never tried to make anything for it myself. Never needed to or anything like that. The one thing I will say is, if you guys didn't realize, the sponges aren't on the inside; they're on the outside, and it's to make
Oh my
a
God.
fucking like, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
Dude,
a valid response.
the reason it worries me when he says he uses sponges is because when I think sponges, okay, I like having a clean house. I like having clean dishes, which means you need a good scrubbing sponge. And what's a good scrubbing sponge? The Sponge Daddy, which is the hardest sponge you could possibly use until that shit's wet. So like, that's why it worries me about what sponge he's using, because that just sounds like sandpaper. That sounds like a horrible time. That sounds like you maybe ate one too many brownies and you just need to sleep it off. Don't do that when the friends are over.
I'm telling you, it's the hospital
sponges.
sponges.
Bag peanut butter.
It's like those big hospital sponges they use to bathe. And it's
If it's the
they're
sponge
soft,
it is
but
probably the better for his.
Can we not talk about the squishiness of sponges to help a man get off on a couch? Is there an update? Like,
what would you rather talk about? What would you
so
rather talk about? The fact that he used peanut butter and the cleanup is gonna be hard?
Are we
Yes,
gonna start
we
putting
are.
sponges on like a spectrum, like 1 to 10, like.
Okay, so
Just for that, I'm gonna make a tier list. I'm gonna make a tier list video of sponges, Theo, and I'm gonna send it straight to you. No one else, straight to you.
Rob isn't on that
ears, I
video.
don't wanna hear it.
It's not
So,
a real cheer.
there is no update. And I will. The only final say I have on this is I'm gonna DM him and ask him. I want to know what happened the next day, because did he not remember, or was there like weird eye contact of we will never discuss what happened that night?
I'm going to assume and hope for at least the second one. Or he's never seen that friend again since that night.
Oh Lord
Dude, it's gotta
Almighty!
be awkward.
That was
It's
a-
gotta. You
okay.
have to. I would have to talk about
Bridgebird.
that. I'd have to like sit down and be like, "All right, bro, what the bunk was that about?"
Yeah, I don't think we'd be friends after that. To file the couch,
That's
man. Now
my
he's supposed
thing,
to sit
though,
there.
right? Like, you're
Yeah.
already using the couch cushions. Why you got the sponges too? Like, were the couch cushions not enough for you, bro?
Don't
Apparently.
want to know.
Dude.
I just want to know what the
Sorry.
conversation was after.
Yeah, y'all
I had to
freaking
go-
me out. Like, I don't even want to sit on this couch anymore. I want to like be up
I'm
here.
a little scared
like,
to touch the
not
couch.
Sitting on the couch.
Couch has
Sorry, hold
cooties
on.
now.
I'm a little scared to touch the couch. I'm gonna be
Yeah,
here.
there you go.
That's
there
fair.
You go. It wasn't these
Why the
couches,
fuck
right?
would y'all be afraid to touch the couches? I'm the only dude here, and I ain't doing that kind of shit. I have respect.
You're not.
Dude, fucking
20
bathroom
minutes
if I'm
ago,
doing
you were
that.
talking about which sponges would be better to use.
Scientifically speaking, in the very theoretical thought process of it,
I
yes,
would,
that's how my brain works.
Over in the Twitch chat,
Okay,
Silver
Brandon,
commented for us, and Silver simply said, "Mom, I don't like this podcast anymore. I want a new one." So I say with that, I have no more thoughts. Does anybody else need to state their piece?
Yes, no, I have a question. I have something to ask. Oh my gosh, these stories tonight have been absolutely crazy. Let's say Theo wants to put up a story for your next time you're doing this. Where would I go for something like that?
Funny you ask, Theo. We actually have a subreddit that you could go and
Whoa,
put stuff
you
in.
do? Where is it? Where could I find that?
So if you go to reddit.com and you search up r/VR podcast, you too can submit your own crazy story for us to judge you on.
Wow, I'm gonna do that right away and tell all of my friends to do that too.
But wait, there's more. Call now and we'll throw in. You can subscribe to our YouTube and our Spotify now and listen on the go.
Wow, I can't wait to do all of those things because I'm a big fan and can't wait to add to the content that's already being made.
But what if they want to listen to us
Yippee!
live?
The Twitch.
They can go follow our main person's Twitch, would be twitch.tv/Pumkitty2.
Follow today.
Billy Mays here.
Billy Mays here.
You know what?
And for our other stuff, for our TikToks, you got tiktok.com/Pumkitty. I don't know if you have anything else.
Nah,
after your
I
name, do
think
you?
that's it. Either that or VR.
Okay. And then tiktok.com/squishy's VRC. Teehee taha. Okay.
And you know, we can't
And
forget
what about
here.
our special guest tonight?
This wouldn't be possible tonight without tiktok.com at TheOdicy. Alright, we call him Theo, you might call him your bread lord, but a lot of this is because of him. So, you want to join that bread game, that bread cult, you guys gotta go give him that love too.
Hey. This has been super
I hate
fun.
this
Oh my
bit.
gosh, these freaking Reddit reads with y'all is absolutely phenomenal. I love doing these.
It's
This is
great,
fucking
bro.
great. And
It
with
is
that, we
great.
will see you guys next week. Bye-bye.
Have a good night and sleep well.